Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. It's Talkie Tuesday. My name is Dori Patrick. I'm a mixed media artist. I live and work in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Welcome to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. Welcome back if you are returning. Um, I'm coming at you from my very messy um, soon to be old studio. Thank you so much to everyone who watched last week's video and left me sweet, wonderful comments. I sure appreciate it. If you haven't heard, I am in the midst of moving my studio out of my home and over to the Eastern Iowa Arts Academy. Um, I've been working in the space really since right after Christmas. I've been painting the space mostly, but we just started moving the first batch of stuff into that space. We did another small load last night, hubby and I, and that is going to become the art studio of Dori Patrick. Um, yeah, so I thought I would check in real quick and give you some updates on that. And then what I have in mind for this week's video is a Christmas gift art supply slash book haul. I was going to share with you guys what I got for Christmas gifts. My family has just taken really good care of me this year. It's an embarrassment of riches, but it's all good stuff, and I think you guys are going to like it too. So in a minute, I will switch it to overhead, and I'll show you some of the goodies that I got. And some of them I think maybe we'll just try out real quick. Some of them are brand new to me, and I've never used them and I'm very curious how they're going to play. But anyway, so since I talked to you last, I have been continuing to work on that new space, that new studio at the academy. Um, excuse me, I'm making progress with the painting. So I got, let's see, I don't remember where I was. I think I was still working on the white when I talked to you last, the white paint on the three main walls. I got that done. And then I got the green bookshelves around the base. If I can find some photos, I'll share them here. So I did those, the bookshelves and the radiator vents that lined the room on the lower third of the room. I made those like a funky sort of limey or apple green, and I love it. I absolutely love it. My husband is really funny. He is like, "You definitely have your colors, don't you?" And I said, "I think I do. I tend because here in the house, I mean, here in the studio, you see I have white walls, but I definitely lean towards the limey and apple greens, the turquoises and teals, and then I love a pop of like yellow or pink or red with those. Um, it's just I just go for the colors I love, so that's what I've done. So the bookcases are all done, and those went really fast. I think probably because the surface was smooth, and so it just was a lot faster to get covered than those brick walls. So I got that done, and then now I'm working on the final wall that looks into the coat room. Um, I decided that is going to be a turquoise, and it's kind of a deep turquoise. Yeah, it's called, so all the paints I use, they're the Behr brand, Behr, that I get at Home Depot just down the road from me. And this turquoise is called Mystic Turquoise. A lot of you have been asking the name of that color. And it's beautiful. I'm really happy with that turquoise wall. So I have one whole pass on that wall and it needs two. So I just got to go over one more quick time. The first pass is always the slowest because you're, making sure your trim is neat and you're getting in all the nooks and crannies on that first pass, but the second pass will go a lot faster because I've got the lines set. It's basically coloring inside the lines now. So, one more coat of the turquoise, and then I'm going to move into that coat room that I showed you, the one that used to have all the hooks, and I'm just going to give that a fresh coat of the white. That room has a lot less natural light because it's tucked back there, and the little bit of natural light it gets is from the bathrooms, and those windows are kind of frosted over. So, I'm thinking I need something bright in there to just help bounce the light around. So that's just going to be white. And then I'm not sure what's next. I think I will probably take a break from the painting. I do want to do my bathrooms, and I do have an idea for window coverings, but I think probably after I get that coat room painted, I will focus on really getting all of my immediate painting and collage supplies over there so that I can set that up. Because your girl got to work too at some point. At some point, I've got to make some work for something I will share soon. It's going really good. And I, again, thank you so much for all of your encouragement and your enthusiasm. Many of you have been reaching out to me with questions and inquiries about what's happening, and I appreciate it. I will try to get back to you as quickly as I can. I'm kind of not on my computer as much as I have been in the past because I'm just working on all this physical moving. But keep them coming. I love to hear from you and see what you think of the space. But for now, let's switch to overhead, and I'd love to share some of my Christmas gifts with you. Okay, guys, welcome to the work table. Sorry about the glare. Um, it's a cloudy day again, and I've got my ring light on so that we can see things a little better. But sometimes that gives us a glare on some of these plastic packages. I was thinking that I would show you a few little stocking stuffers, and then I'll show you the books I got, and then we can play with some of the new art supplies and kind of see what we think. A couple of things that I got in my stocking. By the way, like our family, we love to do a stocking stuffer. We love it. Even though we're all grown up, we, I don't know what it is about, there's something about finding lots of fun little things that fit in a stocking, and we just love it. And probably will just continue to do it even when we're old and gray. I mentioned it to someone. Who was it? I think maybe it was my dental hygienist. She was like, "Are you all ready for the holidays?" And I said, "Oh, well, I've got to get a few more stocking stuffers." And she's like, "Oh, how old are your kids?" And I was like, "Oh, we're grown." she and I think she thought it was weird, but I don't care. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love finding things for a stocking, and I love opening my stocking. So these are a couple things that I found. My hubby gave me this. This is paper shapes and scraps. And it looks like the company is Black Ink, Creative International Papers, but it's a hodgepodge of different funky papers, and they're cut out in different shapes. Some are very specific shapes, and some are just little scraps. But he was so correct in thinking that I would use this in my journaling. I absolutely will. Look at all those beautiful papers. I love that. Yeah. So I'm excited. I have not opened it up yet because I'm in the middle of moving stuff, and I just didn't want to, you know how the little scraps get, they start getting all over the place. I don't want to lose anything. So I'm holding off on opening these for now, but I will definitely be using those. And I think he got these at Wet Paint in St. Paul, Minnesota when we were there, but I bet you can find these online too. It's decorative handmade recycled cotton papers from India. So the other thing that was in my stocking that I love, those of you who are women or men of a certain age remember strawberry shortcake from the 80s. I was totally a strawberry shortcake girl, and I still, when I see her and when I see things with strawberry shortcake, I just love it. I love the combo of pink and red. I love her. It just brings back good memories. And he found this pack of stickers. There are four sheets. It says four sheets. And you know what? Let's open these. Let's see what's in here. So I can tell that the top page, these are puffy. I'm trying not to have the glare there. They're like a puffy sticker. And then the rest are flat. And they're teeny. There's some are teeny tiny. These would be great in a planner or a journal. Oh my gosh, look how cute. Look at her. She is so cute. Fun. Yeah, so this was a fun surprise. I can't remember where he said he found these. Yeah. And then the other stocking stuffer that I'm very excited about, and I'm pretty sure he got this at Wet Paint and St. Paul too, are is a set of the Jelly Roll Moonlight gel pens. I love these pens, and I love the bold tip. So this is a pack of 25. Look at all those colors. Oh, yummy, yummy. And they have the bold tip. Because that's I usually am using them to like color in when I'm doodling and sketching at night when we're watching TV. I have a stash of these in my little cart next to the couch. And so I was running low on several colors, and so he got me this multi-pack, which is like, I mean, that just looks like candy, doesn't it? They're so fun. They're so great because they really write over, they give you an opaque line. Not all of theirs do. They have sparkly ones, etc. But this is the vivid and opaque ink. So the moonlight. Um, I don't know what you call it. It's a line. It's a line of Jelly Roll pens. So I was really excited about that too and can't wait to use them. Okay, let's move on to books. Um, I don't know about you guys, but uh I always have a book wish list going. Always. I want all the books. Always, always. And my family got me several that were on my list that I'm very excited to get started on once I have time to read. This one has been in my sights for a long time. I've heard lots of good things about this book from a lot of creatives. 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think. It's by Brianna, and I think that's pronounced Weist. And I have not even had a chance to open this. I'm looking forward to this. I think I may try to tackle this like a little bit every evening, maybe like right after dinner, read an essay. Um, I've heard a lot of good things about this book. So, can't wait to dig into that one. This is not art related. This is just me, my silly self. Japanese ghost stories. I love scary stories and ghost stories specifically. And hubby and I are planning or working on a trip to Japan. And I wanted to know more about Japanese ghost stories and Japanese folklore. I've dabbled in learning a little bit about it, and it's so interesting. It's so interesting. So I'm excited to dig into this one too. Another one, I think the kids got me this. This is the Granny Squares Bible. So it's 110 designs to mix, match, and crochet. I love to crochet. I love a granny square. I've done several of these, but I was looking to learn some things that were a little more complicated or just a little different than what I had been doing. So this is going to be a really fun oh, that one's cute. This is going to be a really fun resource for me. Um, yeah, just very excited. Very excited to try this out. I love a granny square. Love it, love it. In fact, I am planning on taking some of my granny square Afghans and moving them to the new studio to add a little pop of color and a little coziness. So next up is, I've had this one in my sights for quite a while too, so I was really happy to get it. It's called Let's Make Art. It's by Alice Hendy and Karen Davies, and it's really geared towards children, um, which I love. There is nothing that brings me more joy than children's art and children's crafts. So I'm always looking for little ideas for when I need to fill in, teaching some little classes at the academy. There's some really fun ideas. I mean, these masks on the cover are just to die for. There's a lot of fun, just really simple, little colorful crafts. Isn't that cute? Yeah, this will be a lot of fun to reference. So when I'm feeling stuck and I can't think of what we should do together, or even just something to get me out of my own rut, this will be a fun little thing to reference. So got that. And last but not least, I got this Mamma Jamma. It barely fits in the frame. It's a big book. It's called Drawing in the Present Tense. It's by Claire Gilman and Roger Malbert. Look at that cover. Isn't that gorgeous? I have only perused through this book a little bit. As you know, no time for that right now. Um, but the few things that I did fall in love with, I put a little post-it note so I could share them with you and so I can remember to reference them again. From what I gather, this is a book that is centered on how artists use drawing as the backbone of their creative practice. So they are not all necessarily um, in a certain one medium or, you know, I guess what I'm trying to say is some of these artists are painters, some of these artists are potters and ceramicists, and they all come back to a drawing practice to figure out their ideas, to stretch themselves, and to come up with new concepts. So it's about all these different artists and how they use drawing as a catalyst for their own personal work. So there's a little section about each artist and kind of a little bit about their practice. And I haven't had much time to read through it. Of course, I'm a visual person, so I am zoning in right on those drawings and look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Um, but I'm looking forward to going back and just really reading in more detail um, about each artist's practice. But there were a couple that really stuck out to me, and I wanted to share them with you. This is Eddie Martinez. I just really love the bold lines and simple shapes. I love his use of black with the bright colors. That one really spoke to me. This is the artist that's featured on the cover. And honestly, the cover is what got me on this book. They say you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but in this case, I bought it pretty much for the cover and to find out who this artist was and to find out about her process. The artist is Rachel Harrison, and I just can't get enough of those scribbly. Isn't that just amazing? This kind of gives me an idea, a jumping off point. You know, I don't look at something and desire to copy it, but I look at something and I think, what do I love about this? And I think what I love about this in particular is not just the color. That's a pretty obvious choice, but I love the messiness and the nuances that you see when you look really closely at her work. There's just so much, this is a piece of art that you could have and you would see something new every time you would look at it. And this cover gives me the idea of drawing on thin paper and allowing things to bleed through. So that's a concept I'm going to experiment with. There's so much good stuff. This really caught my eye as well. Walter Price. I think it's the crayon that gets me. Yeah, I think it's the crayon marks and the gestures used for faces and heads and how you don't have to spell everything out, every little detail out. Um, this piece really caught my eye. And so I'm interested in investigating this guy a little more, Nick Moss. I really love the repeat pattern on that. And this also kind of lends itself to working on thin papers and bleeding through. I love that idea. And the final one, I think it's Zoya Cherkosky. Um, I am interested in doing more figurative work, and I find this to be very inspiring as well. Again, another reminder that you can communicate your images with very simple shapes, um, very purposeful marks without overdoing it, if that makes sense. So, this is going to be a book I treasure for years to come. I look at that bright green. It's just such a beautiful book, has such a great feel. So, thank you, family. That was I'm so lucky. Okay, now let me show you some of the art supplies and we'll do a little playing around here. Okay, guys, I'm going to share some of the art supplies that I got in my Christmas haul. I am feeling so spoiled and happy. I love an art supply. I know you do too. So here are a couple things. I've got this is a mixed media pad of paper, and I've got a little brush and some water. And I thought we could play with some of the things here when they come up. But I wanted to show you a couple things first. This was one of the things that my kids gave me. I have wanted this for a really long time, and I forget about it, and it's just, of course, it's just not tops on the list. I've got a lot of sketchbooks, but I don't have one shaped like this, and I'm very excited about it. This is by Handbook Journal Company. It's a watercolor um, pocket panorama book. So look at that. It's just long and skinny. Let's see if it has. I don't see. Oh, here it says it's 3.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and it's 60 pages of acid-free watercolor paper. And I am really intrigued with working in this format. I've done some long, skinny books. I've done one that is vertical. I've done one that is kind of long like this, but wider. But I've never done anything with a real skinny book like this. And I reckon you could work in it this way or this way. So I don't know how I'm going to work in it yet. But isn't that fun? And Handbook is a great brand. They always have this really nice little elastic, that holds it closed. Because my stuff always gets bulky. Because I'm always gluing and everything. But, yeah, I always enjoy Handbook, and they're pretty affordable, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, so I'm excited about that. And this present just totally blew me away, and it's still in its plastic, so I'm gonna try not to give you too much glare here, but I saw this on, I don't know if it was TikTok or what, but somebody was playing with one of these, the Customizer engraving pen. I think the brand is Resparked. And it is, well, here, do I have yeah, let's open it. This is an engraving pen. It comes with all these nibs and you can use it for carving, engraving in different mediums. And I am here for it. I'm so excited. Um, I think I think the sky's the limit. You could really carve wood with this. You could do sgraffito in your ceramics with this. I think it's going to take a little practice and a little bit of figuring out you know, how to use it, how much pressure to use, all that stuff. But I think this is going to be a wonderful tool, especially for things that you really want to get some detail in there. Um, in your piece. So, yeah, I couldn't believe it. Like I was just talking about this and here it is. Very excited about that. Yes, yes. Okay. Next up is I know you all who are excuse me, mixed media folks. You all know about Derwent Inktense. My sweet family gave me a set of these bad boys. I only have, maybe, I don't know, 1 or 2 colors in these mixed in with my colored pencils. So, I was really stoked to find out now I have all these colors in the set. And I'm gonna try to bring you in a little closer here. So I know a lot of you know, and you can Google information about Derwent Inktense. They do blocks, they do pencils. Derwent is a big brand. They do a lot of different stuff, but their Inktense pencils are specifically water soluble. And what is so great about that is, let's see, let's find a couple colors. So you can draw with them. We'll just do some scribbles here. Let's see what this is. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, so there's your green. So you can draw with them like a regular colored pencil. But what's fabulous about them is they activate into a watercolor. Oh, isn't that pretty? So you can move them around and shift them around. You can blend them together to create new colors. Oh, that's pretty. Isn't that beautiful? And they are really pigmented. Like you can really work that around. What I love is that it shows the scribble marks. But you don't have to. You could just keep on going and work that into, a paint spot and bring it down. So fun. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with these. Yeah. So a whole set. Can you believe it? Next up, the family got me. Um, I call this brand Grabby, but I don't know if that's right. Um, I have tried a few things from them. They have a really nice, like fine point acrylic paint marker that I like to doodle with in my sketchbook. So I have had this on my radar for quite some time. It's a watercolor set and it's perfect for traveling if I can get it out of the box. But okay, look at this. Here's the swatch card that I need to fill out so that I can reference my colors. Although honestly, I probably don't do that very often. Um, but here is the set. And so you open it up like this, and there's mixing pads. Here's a little thing to wipe your brush on. And then look at how the paints open up. Okay, I'm going to set this down. I'm sorry if I sound a little hoarse. I kind of got a scratchy throat today. All right, look at that. Isn't that clever? It's so clever. And then when you want to go, oh, and then there's the brush. It's a water brush right in the center there. And then when you're ready to go, you just tuck that all in and bada bing, bada boom. Isn't that fabulous? Let's try these metallics. Let's see what these do. Yeah, I've never used I've never used this before, so we'll see. Get some wet. So this is looks like kind of a bronzy brown. Whoops, I should get it in frame probably. Oh yeah, these are nice, you guys. I'll bring it close here so you can see. Um, there's quite a bit of pigment in these. Doesn't take much to get them going. That's a nice kind of charcoaly. Oh yeah. Okay. I don't know how well that's picking up the metallic of it. It's very, very faint. And it probably will show up a little better when these are dry. But I like that. I mean, I feel like this is an affordable set. Grabby is pretty affordable, and I feel like that is respectable. That's a respectable amount of pigment for an affordable set, you know? Okay. Yeah. I think these will be fun. These will be really fun for on the go, for journaling on the go. Oh, that gold is pretty. Nice. Okay. Isn't that fun? So that is Grabby, or however you want to say it, the 56 watercolor set. 36 essential colors, 10 metallics, and 10 pastels. One water brush, pen, and a swatch sheet, all in this little compact box. Yeah, really happy with that. Thank you, family. Okay, and then finally, um, this is another thing that I have heard amazing things about from a lot of journaling people and artists are the Artex. That's what I'm calling them. I don't know if that's right. Artex acrylic markers. Now, they come in different nibs, different sizes. I've heard that um, these will rival your Posca pens. We'll see. I have not had a chance to play with them. Let me see if do they need to be shaken? No? Okay, so this is the brush tip set. Let's just see what we get here. Oh yeah, really nice. Really nice. Nice. Okay, let's check some more. And I noticed that they come in this box. They like stand up and they're all upside down. So I think that is how they want you to store them as well. I'll bring this in closer. Let's see. Let's see what this one will do. Yeah. And that dries pretty fast. And you can layer them. And a couple passes makes them a little more opaque. So now I can see why people are obsessed with these. These are nice. I do still love my Posca pens, but this might be a really nice alternative. So that pink takes a few passes to cover up that blue, but um that's not bad. I feel like there's going to be a good use for these. Let's try a green. See what this green does. Yeah, those are nice. And that's that water, that Derwent Intense goes right over that. This is still kind of wet, but yeah, it goes right over that. That's nice. That's really nice for layering. I do love that gold shimmer. That's pretty, isn't it? Yeah, all right. So what I have here is the 60-piece brush tip set. Let me show you the box here so you can find it. I think the family got these off of Amazon. I'm not sure. There's probably other places to get them. And then they also treated me to the wide tip. It says they paint on anything. Let's look at the wide tip. Yes, indeed. Okay, so I think I have to mark the numbers of I won't do that probably. Okay, let's see. Red. Okay, so these I think you want to shake to get going. So let's see what kind of nib. Oh yeah. So these, it looks like we'll have to get started like a Posca pen. We're gonna have to pump it a little. So let's see what happens here. I think he's thinking about it. Yep, I can see the ink starting to come down. I know you can't see it very well. It's starting. I really love this broad tip. Oh, think about how fun that would be to just cover big sections. Oh, I love that. That is nice. That flows really, really nice. Love it. And I love the edge of a broad tip like this. I love making those little tick marks with the side of a marker. Okay. Wow, awesome. Okay, I see why people love these. I see it now. Let's do one more just before we have to say goodbye. So the rest of this week, I will be finishing up with the painting in the studio, the painting of the walls. And then I am really focusing on moving my stuff over. So every day I just chip away at a little bit. I'm really, so far so good. I'm pretty good at not getting too overwhelmed. And my husband is such a good sounding board for me. He lets me know if, you know, I need to worry about something or not. So I try to listen to him. Look at that green. So that's sort of a light olive green, grape green, lime green. Oh, so pretty. Oh my gosh. How fun. How lucky am I, right? I mean, just I'm going to have so much fun. These are going to be a great addition to my practice. I can already tell. I do want to later on, I'm going to play around with how permanent they are. Like this red is still a little wet, so they do take a little while to dry, but that's okay. I just am curious how permanent they are once they're set. I want to be sure that I know. One of the things I'll play with is, do they reconstitute after they're dry? Because that will really affect how I use them in my paintings and in my journals. But yeah, I say yes. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up to my family. 2 thumbs up to art supplies and books and puppy dogs and coffee, and to you. Thank you so much for being here and being willing to listen to me ramble every week. Keep the comments and questions coming. I love them. And I will see you again next week with another studio update. Hopefully, we'll be in the new studio with the next update. Bye, friends.